What's going on, guys? Ellie from Copenhagen here. You might not know who I am, but you've got nothing better to do. So watch the Soccer Cooligans, talking all things football, politics, music, culture. Swipe up, click the link.
That'll do. That'll do.
Ay, papi! Yes.
Let's go. See, now you can't, if you're just listening, you can't see, but you might have heard there was a little bit of a reverb at the end, and that is because Christian's beautiful, luscious, soul glow afro was just bouncing and shaking.
Okay. All right. My hair got rhythm. All right. So, get ready.
He was doing a cumbia. You
know? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the PREM show. We are the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
That's right, and I'm Alexis Guerrero.
Okay, we are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show live on Twitch, everybody.
It's also the gulliest.
Okay, what is that? Indigestion, that second one? What was that?
I was listening to Pop Smoke before. You know?
That's right, on El Twitch. Yes, that's right. Join us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern live on eltwitch.com.
Very different from Twitch. We're the only thing on Twitch.com.
Okay, as it should be. You know, all these other channels out here really just making it more difficult for people to find us.
It's like we're on Peacock. You gotta find out where is it? Oh, this one's on ESPN.
Yeah, come on, make this simpler, bro.
Jesus, I want a soccer button on my TV.
That's right. HD Mike said .com. All right.
.com.
That's right.
You know what I was thinking about before? The first time, I think I've said this on the show before, but like, you know, Celino and Barnes gets like all the street cred for being like the New York law firm that advertised everywhere. But for us who grew up listening to Spanish radio and Spanish TV, Troman Iglesias.
Troman Iglesias is
that was our guy.
Yes. I believe it's just Celino now. Right.
Well, Barnes died. They broke up, and then Barnes died in a helicopter accident or a plane accident.
It's interesting because I saw there've been I forgot who it was. There was a comic that posted a joke like they broke, like Celino and Barnes broke up. Like, what's up with that? Not knowing that the dude died. It was just like the joke. It's just like it's so wildly insensitive because they don't know what the hell's going on.
What could have caused them to do that? If for you don't know, it's a law firm, and on Spanish radio they used to advertise all the time, and it would say Troman Iglesias, Troman Iglesias. Yo, first like week in sales, I'm in a big elevator in Midtown, and I look up and it has like the little things that would light up as to all the different companies that are in there at the top of the elevator, and one of them said Troman and Glazer Associates, and I look up and I was like, Troman and Glazer. I'm like, oh, that's almost like Troman and Glazer. That's the moment I realized it was two people's names with the E in the middle. It's Troman Iglesias sounded like one word. It's like one syllable.
Okay, that's just one guy. Clearly, you know how Latinos have like 40 names, and
yeah,
there's nothing weird about it.
Pablo Troman.
I mean, the OG for me definitely is Dr. Zizmore.
Oh, Dr. Zizmore. Thank you, Dr. Zizmore. That's the shit.
I mean, look, obviously people in the chat this is very New York centric conversation, right? So you may have not know what we're talking about.
You probably, if you follow New York Nico on Instagram, like everyone else apparently does, you know who Celino and Barnes are now. We're giving you the underground. They didn't go mainstream like Celino and Barnes.
Colo Blanco said, why don't I show up in the chat? Oh, no, you do, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just in case. All right.
We could see you in the chat. All right. There's a show happening here. We're going to talk about soccer.
Yeah,
I promise you, a lot has happened. If you are listening and you want to be a part of the chat, all you got to do is go to eltwitch.com.
That's all you got to do. I just want to mention, Nick Lace just said, I met Dr. Zizmore once at a fundraiser, thought his skin wasn't that great.
Yo, remember his advertisements on the subway? The dude had trash skin.
Oh, hilarious! Shouts to us and Chomp Chomp are the winners for the emotes. Okay, I'll get working on that. All right. Hello, everybody. There's more people trickling in here on Twitch. People, if you're listening to the podcast, thank you again. A lot to cover. Should we start with You want to start with the Premier League? That maybe the
Let's
EFL
just
Cup.
say this.
EFL Cup.
The EFL Cup. No one cares about it. It's not important. Okay? We didn't want to win anyway.
Well, the game. So the game just ended a couple moments ago. The Everton against Manchester United. Good game.
It was up until like the
88th minute when Cavani'd and brought did what he was brought in to do. Everton.
Cavani lo acabó. We're teaching you so much Spanish.
This was a game. I didn't even think Everton would be close in this game. They ended up losing 2-0. The score line makes it seem like they were like dominated. They really were not. But the beginning of the game, they just the pressure from Manchester United was just like way too much. But the fact that Everton were able to like prevent any kind of mistakes and make it to the 88th minute without having given up a goal was still pretty impressive. It took an amazing goal to finally actually give one up.
Well, I didn't get a chance to see the first like 30 minutes of the game. Did Cavani start?
Cavani did start. Yeah.
How did he? Someone put Mina versus Cavani. How was it? Because it looked like by the time I started watching, I'm like, oh, they're going at it. These two are trying to figure each other out. It was like a boxing match.
Yeah.
Without throwing punches.
I want to play this because I saw somebody share this. This was
And I just want to read Crimson Pizza put something that I think is true. He put, I agree with Alexis. EFL Cup is irrelevant unless Arsenal win. Then it's the most prestigious cup in the win trophy in England. Absolutely true.
Everybody knows that. I want to bring up the. Let me just bring up the. What is this?
Colo Blanco put it in there. It's Parceros.
Okay. Oh yes.
Parceros United. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I just found it. So apparently, Cavani, he was. I mean, it looked like when I was watching it live, it looked like he put his fingers inside Mina's mouth.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like to me. But
Mina bit down on the way to the ground.
I mean, this is it. It's like, he has it on his chin.
That's ill-advised, isn't it, from Cavani?
I mean, COVID, bruh. You ain't allowed to touch your own face, never mind my man's.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he clearly...
You put that shit full screen?
It was too small to see, right? Could you see it?
Damn, son.
Look, have you watched Jimmy Conrad's stream? He plays full-on goals, like straight-up highlights like it's, Sky Sports, dude. He goes nuts. Oh, my God, died. Thank you for the...
Did you see what she wrote?
No.
Or he wrote, oh, my God, died, put flip the cam. That's part of his subscription.
Wait, flip the cam meaning like go to Nutmeg.
Go to Nutmeg.
Got it.
Yeah, like quit chatting.
Ain't interested in what you guys got to say. So Nutmeg, I believe, is done with the fish. Oh no.
Nope.
Oh.
He's reaching for it. Y'all put CBD in it?
He's stretched out. We're talking now about getting a bigger bed for him because
he's huge now.
Yeah. Well, he definitely doesn't. It's so crazy. I was watching a clip of the first like week when he was here, and I was like kicking the soccer ball around, and I'm like, how the hell do dogs grow so fast? Like it's just like just absolutely insanely fast. Where from like one you put him to sleep at night and you wake up and you're like, what just happened? You were
Did it hurt?
Crimson Pizza, thank you for the sub as well. Yes, appreciate it. Yeah,
that's showing on Twitch. Thank you very much.
Good, the only one also, but
imagine we didn't win though. That would have been rough.
The only one. Oh, right. Nicolay said there are CBD brownies for dogs. We use them to calm ours down when there's thunder or fireworks. But brownies usually have chocolate in them, right? You're not supposed to give dogs chocolate, so I hope there's.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not a chocolate brownie. Maybe it's a blondie.
Okay, I just want to clarify because I'm almost sure Nick Lage is abusing his dog.
Yeah, I didn't know shit about dogs. I was trying to get my friend's dog at a housewarming party, and the dog was just annoying the shit out of me. So I'm like, I'm gonna give him a chicken wing. And everyone was like, no. I was like, what? And they're like, yo, they can't because chicken bones, the dogs could bite through it, and apparently it kills them. I didn't know. So I poured a beer on top of its head to get it away from me. Not the whole thing. I just poured a little bit of beer and it was like, oh, and it hated me and it walked away. And I was like, see, I got rid of it.
Nick said, it's not a real brownie. Just no, we get it stoned when we need to sleep.
Yeah. He's just hitting bong rips into his dog's face. I'm going to say brownie, though.
Okay, so continuing on this this match. So Cavani, it looked like he put his fingers in his mouth, but it was just, also, I don't even understand, like, they weren't even... There wasn't like
yeah, but they're battling all game, right?
But that's
like,
the thing.
That's part of it.
And
they're both from South America. That's okay. Ain't no rules.
It's like kissing on each cheek. It's whatever.
Yeah. So you slip a couple fingers in the guy's mouth.
Okay, that's how I welcome people into my home. All right.
Yeah, oh, y'all don't want to calm the ball?
No, but it didn't seem like throughout the game that that Cavani and Mina were really getting into any sort of tiff or any that it kind of came out of nowhere. That's really why it was kind of shocking. And maybe
I think the reason you're saying that is because it wasn't a very like physically obvious tiff, but you could tell that they were sort of battling between the two of them. Like, I'm gonna go this way, and then I'm gonna cover. It was like a.
You mean like just playing soccer and defending against
no,
you know,
but like,
a star attacker?
Like, I'm not gonna let you. You know what I mean? Like, my whole goal this match is to make sure you don't. And it was a great competition. It reminded me of like the old like Patrick Vieira, like, you know, style of like, all right, you my dude, I'm not gonna let you do shit this whole match.
Yeah, look, in this game, just Everton didn't have the quality you know, up front to be able to score against Manchester United. Manchester United, at the very least, like, I know during the beginning of the year it was Ali out and we don't, you know, they need to be better and all this other stuff. But yo, I honestly, I've seen I don't know, I've seen maybe 6 or 7 Manchester United matches this season. This seemed like their best game. I mean, as far as everybody was just on point. They were first to every ball. Everton, I'm surprised they didn't score in those first 30 minutes. They were really, really good. I thought Pogba was great. Fernandes was unreal. And for Everton to hold off as long as they did was impressive enough to me. So Manchester United fans, I know they're like, you know, week to week, and we get frustrated, but they're looking pretty good, right?
They got a game in hand in the Premier League, not in the EFL Cup. In the Premier League, they got a game in hand. If they win that, they're in second place.
Yeah.
So with 29 points, I mean, if you look at the one thing I'm impressed with Ole is the fact that the dude hasn't shook him all of the pressure that was put on him a couple matches ago. It hasn't shook him how the media has gone after most of his players. You know, even the ones that have played well, like Rashford, for all the other things he's done outside of playing 90 minutes each week. It seems like all of those things would normally rattle a club, and maybe a new manager wouldn't know how to handle it. Arteta, you know what I mean? And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has kind of been like, you know, kind of kept his head straight, kind of kept his nose down on his own papers. You know what I mean? He seems to have plugged along, and here we are, and they're almost in second place. And weeks ago, we were saying they were the worst team, which just goes to show Arsenal there's a chance.
Anything is possible. We'll get to Arsenal in a moment, because I do want to talk about. Do we
have to?
I do want to talk about Mikel Arteta's recent comments, because they've been absolutely surreal. But
I haven't even read them or saw them. That's how disconnected from Arsenal I want to be right now.
Do you think so? So some people are saying that Cavani should have gotten a red card for that, to hands to the face.
I agree,
but there is no VAR in. There's only VAR in the semifinal and final for the EFL Cup, which is dumb or whatever. But
you know, like sometimes like two players will touch foreheads. You know what I mean? Like that stupid thing, like the showdown. Like they'll put their heads down. That's considered red cards, but trying to claw a dude in the mouth isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So look, and some, I think whether he got a red or not, I mean, I don't. That wasn't the difference in the game. Like they were. Was it like an egregious, absolutely ridiculous thing that he did? In my opinion, no. I mean, it was dumb, but it didn't. It wouldn't have. Essentially, Everton needed to be better, and they very much were not. And you know, that's just the scenario. Even James is injured. The one thing I do want to talk about, Richarlison didn't have the best of games. I'm getting kind of frustrated with Richarlison not offensively, he's making like little mistakes and not really.
He's always been that guy. He shows flashes of brilliance, but he's not consistent at all.
Yeah, I just think, you know what? Frankly, I feel like he's a good defender, and I almost feel like he's defending too much. Like he's wasting his energy defending rather than going forward. Because Iwobi he's not doing much going forward. So somebody has to kind of take that responsibility.
Did you ever hear the quote from Carlo Ancelotti when he was talking about Roberto Carlos? When he had him at, I believe it was AC Milan or Inter? It might have been Inter. I can't remember right now for some reason.
No, I didn't.
He said that Roberto Carlos came to him and said, by the way, I'm not doing all that defending. If you want me in the team, it's to score goals. That's why you brought me here.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have the legs to go back and defend anymore. So it's up to you. If I'm going in, I'm just going to score goals. If not, he's like, if you need me to defend, I'm not going in.
And the man's he is literally a defender. He plays the defensive position.
Well, whatchamacallit? He goes, then maybe it wasn't Roberto Carlos. Who was it?
I mean,
it was Ronaldo. It was Fat Ronaldo.
Okay.
So he said,
just say R9. I mean, how much do we need to push?
Everyone knows. Brazilian Ronaldo.
People tend to gain weight after they're done playing. We don't call him
after. Buddy, I've been my whole life. I'm allowed to say you're not.
We don't say Fat Maradona. He's just Maradona.
Yeah, we do. We said Fat Elvis. We said Fat Maradona. And this was in the end of his career, so he was already big. He was like, yeah, I'm not doing all that defending. And the announcer goes, what'd you do? He goes, put him in the game. He's here to score goals. He's like, at least he told me who he was.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I feel like Richarlison needs to do the same thing and be like, yo, fam.
Crimson Pizza said, hey, we need fat representation. Yeah,
thank you.
Yes, because fat people love being called fat before you say their name. Yes,
I mean, y'all do it anyway.
This is the representation you had asked for. Good. Let us have one.
Said, let us have one dude, Polanco. You know how proud we were that there was a fat guy in the league?
Oh my goodness. So okay. So I lost my train. I forgot what we were. So the game in general.
Richarlison, you were talking about.
Richarlison. Yeah. Look, the Manchester United main thing. They're very good. And the beginning of the season is not where they are right now. So there's definitely a lot more. I think optimism and hopefully less people are. Wanting, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to lose his job so quickly. Devil's Advocate TV, thank you so much for the follow. Very much appreciate it. Okay, so do you want to talk about the Arsenal? It was Arsenal Man City, right?
I mean, what is there to talk about? We were completely destroyed. I really didn't see the quote from Arteta.
Look, good thing I have it ready, locked and loaded, good to go. I'm
having internet problems. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Obviously Arsenal, was it 4-1? There was the one goal from Lacazette, which I thought was a great goal. The header, but the mistake. I mean, really, this is when it fell apart. The mistake, the free kick from Riyad Mahrez, and who's this? Runerson,
the backup goalkeeper.
He
should be the fourth string goalkeeper.
He had a howler, and it was a free kick. The ball went right to him. He had it in his hands. Popped out and it went in. It sucks.
Here's the problem. He played pretty well. He made like 4 mistakes, and that's the problem. Every mistake a goalkeeper makes typically leads to a goal.
Yeah. But so the main issue is that Arsenal cannot stop losing, right? And we should also talk.
They also can't score goals.
Everton also defeated Arsenal in the Premier League over the weekend.
Again, why are we talking about all of this?
That game was I mean, look, Everton did what they had to do. A goal from Mina, and it was an own goal from Rob Holding, our homie. So yeah, I mean, we took a photo with him, and that day I was like, yo, then in that next Everton Arsenal fixture, you know what you got to do, bro.
Take it down a notch, will you?
He was like, "Oh, I got you, fam. We good."
He's like, "No problem, homie."
So they're not doing well right now. And then and Mikel Arteta is after every game when the whistle blows. I'm at the beginning of games. I'm just like, man, I just want to see Arteta just a little happy. I hope it works out a little bit. And this was these were the comments. This was it says last year.
Oh, I did see this. This is so stupid.
Last year we won against Everton with a 25% chance of winning. You win 3-2. Last weekend it was 67% chance of winning any Premier League game in history, and a 9% chance of losing, and you lose. 3% against Burnley, and you lose. 7% against Spurs, and you lose. So he is pulling out literally all the stats,
all the trying to confuse you,
all the literally whatever betting sponsor is sponsored this data. He is using all of it to try to explain. He's trying to mathematically rationalize why Arsenal are losing, or that these statistics can't be explained. Everyone else is saying, all the stats are saying that we're supposed to win this game, and we're not. So
he's trying to say, like, it isn't because the players are playing badly, and it isn't my fault. It's look. We had a 32% chance of winning and we lost. We had a 65% chance of winning and we lost. And it's like, yeah, you suck. You suck. Who's doing the stats? Who's making these? He's like, who are these numbers out?
It's like, who is the source? What are you talking about?
I think your TI-86 is broken.
Look, all I see is boobs when you turn it over, when you turn the calculator over. What are you doing, man?
Which is cool. I'm not complaining.
Look, I'll be honest. You're the coolest kid in class, and I'm glad I sit next to you. But I don't
fucks with this calculator, bro. But it's not giving me the right. Next week, our percentage of winning is boom.
Oh my God! That was Advocate TV said 60% of the time I win every time. Yeah, that's basically what he's doing. And this was interesting because I think I want to say it was Taylor Twellman that had retweeted this and said basically how ridiculous of a statement this is. Like, imagine if Bob Bradley as when he was at Swansea said this. How would he be treated by the media? And for I'll give there are people that are like, yo, Arteta, the club is falling apart. You cannot be saying this right now. Right. So he is getting some heat for it, but it is kind of strange. It makes me think about what he obviously came from Man City. He was obviously assistant to Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, hold on, Board Martin, but lowercase a, capital T-E-T-A, Arteta, because we said boobs.
Well done. Okay. See, that's why we have a tweet share, right? That's why it exists.
Oh God.
Yes.
That is fucking great.
Yes, if obviously if people do not understand the joke, if they don't speak Spanish,
just Google.
I mean, it means tit. I mean, obviously that's not. Yeah. We're not going too far. I don't think we'll get banned for the word.
He said boo. This is great. Did you? I don't. They did an interview. Speedy Mormon did an interview with Rowdy Rebel. It was his first interview since coming home. Did you see it?
No. You mentioned who's a Rowdy Rebel?
Yeah.
Is this
That's like Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda, one of those guys. Yeah. Okay.
So but he was the one. He did that song Computers. It's just a great song. They were both rappers. Whatchamacallit, they asked him, they go, what's the first meal you ate when you came home? And he goes, Toto. And I spit my coffee out. I was like, I haven't heard that since high school.
I mean, the slice shop is right there.
Damn.
But okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. SVox99 said, I'm sorry I'm late and distracted by the hair presentation by CP. I feel like I'm watching the 70s show, especially when y'all get to laughing. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's right. They used to do that spinning camera.
You know what's interesting is somebody on Fubo's YouTube channel, Fubo Sports Network, somebody commented on one of the videos that we did, and somebody said both these guys are clearly high or something like that or whatever. And so that just sort of reminded me of that. Like, we don't get too many comments on YouTube, but it's always like people who just are like either annoyed by us or don't understand what we do, or they just people that when they first I think have comedians in their like soccer world, they're like, whatever, who are these clowns? All right, this is not what
people used to think we were high all the time when we started doing this. Remember?
Yeah. I mean,
like we got comments on our iTunes and everything. Like, yo, you guys definitely smoking bowls before this. Like, neither one of us really smoke.
Yeah, not a huge fan. Okay, all right, what else? What's next? What should we go to?
I mean, we talked about Everton versus Arsenal. I think at the end of the day, I think it's not even. What's the point of even talking about beating Arsenal? You know what I mean?
Well, look, they are what? They're currently in 15th place, and I get, this is the main thing is that I know that Alexis is an Arsenal fan. I'm an Everton fan. I don't necessarily want the show every week to be about both our teams either struggling or succeeding.
No, but I mean, it just so happens that Arsenal right now is what everyone's talking about. Normally, I mean, by pointing and laughing, this is the first show I've heard talking about Arsenal that wouldn't, that wouldn't laugh at it.
Look, Arsenal at 15th place with 14 points is, y'all are in a bad place.
We're closer to relegation than we are the top 4. Or 10th, actually, than 10th.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing.
It's not great. I mean, I don't expect... I saw something that... I forgot what the odds were. Speaking of statistics, of like how many or how likely it was that Arsenal is going to get relegated. Somebody asked... who asked how many games are left this season? That's Fox 99. So it's a 38... there's 38 matches. So
we're just about halfway done.
Yeah. So... But the fact that Arsenal is, I don't expect them to get relegated, right? That it would be, look at Sheffield United. I mean, we mentioned this before. How is Sheffield United so bad? It's really crazy how they were literally like a 10th place, 9th place
If only there were 2 other teams like that, it would guarantee Arsenal wouldn't get relegated.
Some surprise Leeds being at 14th is a bit of a surprise as well. They took a really bad loss to Manchester United over the week.
They've already talked about bringing in defenders, and Leeds needs it. My only issue is how long of a learning curve is it to figure out Bielsa's system? You know what I mean? It's not like you could buy somebody and plug them right in.
Yeah, the comments after the game, Bielsa was simply like, "We're not going to change the way we play." So
he's not. It's his only. It's
but
his only magic trick.
You're gonna have.
He's like, I hope you like the music I picked.
But you're gonna end up with these really, really bad losses. Like I mean, I don't. I'm sure he has like.
I think he's okay with that as long as, the team plays his style. They're just gonna keep developing and learning that style, and eventually they're gonna get better players. I think he understands. Like, look, it's a high risk, high reward style of play. But it's what he's known for, and it's what he's been known for his whole life. He taught other people how to do it. Pochettino comes from that system. The greatest coach of all time, Sampaoli, comes from that system.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine Arteta gets fired and Sampaoli comes in as the Arsenal manager, and they go Sampaoli up against Bielsa.
Okay, yes, the Jedi Master and the Padawan or whatever.
Yeah, powder wine, dude.
Powder wine, correct? Yes. So no, look, there's been a just the results of the weekend. I mean, obviously Liverpool's back in first place. They played. We should talk about that. They played Crystal Palace. And they won 7-0. Every time I see a 7-0 scoreline, it really is triggering. I don't like it.
Same here. All of a sudden,
but
it used to be only 8-2.
How? I mean, even for Crystal, like, look, if you're a Premier League team, you can't be losing like this, even to the champions. 7-0 is really, really bad. I mean, as far as, we see the complaints about, like, in either other leagues or the people make the comparison when they see scorelines like these in women's soccer, or like they're always like, oh, they're not good, or this is like, oh, the quality or whatever and all this other stuff. But when you see stuff like this, I'm like, this is just this is just soccer. This is just this is football. This happens everywhere. You have some absolutely awful team, but Crystal Palace losing 7-0 to. I mean, the expectation has to be higher, right? Like we were talking last week about.
The only thing is, but that's not really an example of who Crystal Palace is, though. That's just they got figured out. You know what I mean? Like something was off, and the other team was able to exploit it. That's all it was.
Well, we were talking about last week about like old English managers, right? Like Roy Hodgson is the manager for Crystal Palace, and it's like. Yeah, I would rather have Jurgen Klopp, a nice, lively. Alexis, what happened to your camera? Alexis's camera went out, but there it is. Okay, my main point was what's going on with your camera? Anyway, my main point. Hopefully, while Alexis fixes this, my main point is
what the hell's going on?
That I would rather have a lively young Jurgen Klopp over an old English manager at the moment because it ends up with results like that. What's up with your camera?
I don't know. I think it's good right now.
Okay. All right. Everybody in the chat send some positive energy for Alexis.
This damn hub is so sensitive.
All right. So you got a new USB hub, right?
It's the same one. I just moved it to the other side, but ever since it's been so sensitive.
Nick Lay said,
I broke it.
No Tubin moments. No Jeffrey Tubin moments.
No, I'm good. I'm not wearing pants, but you can't see that.
SFox99 said, when Jimmy Conrad gets his A license, where do you see him coaching? That's an interesting question.
I can't imagine him coaching at all. Although he was really good with that
Glens.
The Glens. That's a great question. Someone gave me a red card. What I got a red card for?
Fix your camera, bro.
I'm not touching it, dude. It's so sensitive.
That'd be interesting. I mean, look, it first makes me think that the only thing Jimmy can coach is, on FIFA. That'll be the first. He's an expert there. No, but it'd be interesting if Jimmy Conrad got really into, maybe coaching, maybe a team in MLS. Who knows? It'd be interesting.
That would be dope. I'd love to see him go
from a hit YouTube channel to coaching.
I'd love to see him somewhere like whatchamacallit, the Forward Madison or something cool like that.
Yeah.
Or he's right by Oakland Roots.
Interesting. All right, look at that. We're trying to figure it out.
Teach him how to ghost ride the whip on the way into training.
Philly Forcey, did Benteke play in that game? That's a good question. I don't remember if he did.
I could look that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, let me look at the lineup.
When you look at teams like Crystal Palace, though, right? Do you look at them and think that's a top 10 team or no?
I do not, but every time I watch, Benteke did not play this game, by the way. But every time I watch Crystal Palace, I'm like, yo, you need to free my man's Wilfried Zaha, all right?
He's up there in age now, too. This is his last, not his last, but he's hitting his peak.
Yeah, how old is he? He is, put this age on.
26, 27?
Bro, man, wasn't he rumored to go to Arsenal a couple years ago?
This summer.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Remember they put the sign up at the club? Somebody put the script up?
Yeah, dude, it's he's such a good player. It's so tough to see a really good player.
He's 28. Man's is past his prime.
I relax. Past his
27 prime. Is the peak. Hey, I'm not saying he doesn't have years left.
I'm just saying when you say past his prime, that means if you're 27 and that's the peak, the drop off is not 27 and
if
one day.
If prime is 27, then at 28 you passed it. What do you want me to tell you?
What if your prime lasts for a long time, lasts for 2-3 years?
Okay, and maybe his will. The way he plays is tough. He went to Manchester United for like half a year. Remember that?
I do not remember that.
Yeah, dude. Manchester United bought him, and they were like, "Psych."
Oh yeah, I'm looking at his career, playing Premier League career. But he has so he was at Manchester, loaned to Cardiff, and then brought back to Manchester, but he didn't play any games. Oh, he got sold.
If I remember correctly, Manchester United bought him and kept him at Crystal Palace for like half a season, the rest of the season. And they brought him in. he played like 2 or 3 games and didn't, or like maybe he played like an EFL Cup kind of thing, and it didn't go well. So they sent him off to Cardiff, where he played really well, and then they brought him back and he stunk again. So then they sold him like a year later.
I mean, you say he played really well. He got 0 goals in at Cardiff. In the
but I mean,
Premier League.
he's at the time he was much more of like a young kind of a I don't want to say like a speedy winger, but he was like the guy who cut in.
Okay, I just
like he was feeding a lot. He was feeding a lot. But I mean, you saw the glimpses of that he showed at Crystal Palace as a kid. He was a kid at Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Moyes didn't like him. Why? Because he played well? Get out of here. Although Moyes doing well. Moyes doing better than Arteta. Artetas.
Are there 2 of them? Plural?
I hope he got twins, bro. Well, actually, one is always bigger than the other.
Oh, okay. That's pretty standard. They're fraternal. He's fraternal. Fraternal Artetas. Anyway.
For those of you who get what we're saying, it's super funny.
Oh, my goodness.
Super childish.
The one other thing I wanted to also talk about, this is not Premier League specific, but this is about former Premier League player, Kieran Trippier. Is it Trippier or Trippier?
No, it is Trippier.
Trippier. I know he's obviously English. I just wanted to make sure.
It's like a Takashi lyric. Trippier.
Oh,
my blickier.
Yep. All right. I hope. Do we got a big Takashi audience in the chat right now?
I hope not. No snitches.
But Kieran Trippier is banned. He is getting banned by
from all football.
This is by pretty much UEFA for a betting scandal. So I don't know.
All football, not just UEFA. All football.
Yo, you can't even play in your back garden, bro. You gotta.
FIFA's like, yo, no, hey. If he kicks like a pillow over, hey, whoa, easy, the ban.
Okay. So it's interesting. There was it's weird because I got an alert on my phone from The Athletic with the article about it, and I started reading it, and then I stopped in the middle of it because I went to go walk Nutmeg, and then when I went to go back to The Athletic to look for the article, I couldn't find it, which is strange. Maybe it could have totally been me, but it did feel like, did they take down the article for some reason? Because I literally could not find it. Anyway.
Didn't they do this the other week? Like they posted like, sorry, we published an article in error.
Yeah, and that was about Inter Miami, I believe. That was Tenorio.
About the coach getting fired. Yeah,
about the coach getting fired or whatever. But I don't know. I didn't read the original article, so I don't know if they put something up and took it down, or if it's still up there and they just like amended it. Anyway, but so I'm reading the article about. So I didn't get the exact details. If anybody knows exactly what he did, people they discovered it from, I think it's like 2017 when he was at Tottenham. But now is when he's getting the suspension. But 10 weeks, that's a long time, right? And for not only he's getting fined 70,000 pounds, and I'm sure he's not getting paid for those 10 weeks as well.
I mean, I think it's in his contract.
What do you mean?
I think you do get paid. I don't think you. If you get banned, I don't think they can stop paying you.
That's a good question. I mean, but it would suck to have to pay a player when they can't, when they are not eligible to play, wouldn't that?
I mean, you got to pay them when they're injured, right?
An injury and them betting on.
Right, you're right. No, you're right. An injury is stupid because it threatens your career. This is just
and Robert Pemberley said it's worse because he's played every single minute for Atletico this season, and when I was reading the article, apparently Atletico still feels that they can play him because they weren't told about the suspension, or they weren't informed either at some reasonable time.
They're doing that thing with 2 fingers in the air going la.
But they're kind of fighting back on it. I think he's obviously a very important player, but I think Atletico's trying to get this overturned.
I mean, I would do the same thing, right? That's a long time to miss.
Very much so. The one thing that I like is Trippier is there aren't, and it makes me also think about how many English players leave the country to play play anywhere else, play in any other country.
It's happening more, but it's rare.
It's so rare, right?
Go back like 3 years ago, it was super rare.
Because and this is why I get frustrated when people are like, when there's a foreign player that goes to play in England, and everybody's like, oh, with Bielsa, why doesn't Bielsa speak English? He's been here or whatever. But it's like, these English players never go anywhere else to. Yeah. And look at, and one example is like Gareth Bale, who just like same thing. He just like didn't.
He went to Spain. He just didn't play.
He didn't bother to learn. But that's like the one thing where there isn't. I get that there's a lot of opportunity in England, and getting to the Premier League is most money and blah blah blah. But the fact that English players are not willing to take their chance in other countries, I think says a lot about the English player, and I think it hurts their development and growth.
Well, Gareth Bale's not as Welsh, not in English, yes, but you know what? Well, I mean, he's British, and I think he means British player. But I think it's just to me, it's like a weakness in the English, culture of like they're just not interested in going to other countries. Not obviously everyone, but like players. Or just like up until recently, they viewed it like, why would we go elsewhere? We have the greatest league of all time right here. And it's like, well, look at Jadon Sancho. There was another player, I can't remember, who went to Werder Bremen. I can't remember his name, but there were other players who left who were like, I found some success. Even in one of the things, I saw a video about this on YouTube, like Jack Harrison was mentioned, like, look, he went to the US, he played in MLS. He played with Frank Lampard. And when he came back, Frank Lampard had so many nice things and positive things to say about him. Teams wanted to give him another look. And it's like, well, there you go. Sometimes it works.
The other thing I wanted to mention, I had seen this from Goal on Twitter. Former Arsenal manager Unai Emery has guided Villarreal to a club record run of 19 games without defeat. Did he deserve more time at the Gunners? Mm-hmm. I mean, look, the man is thriving. Was it him or was it really just Arsenal?
Turns out it was us the whole time. I forget what show it was. I think it might be British. It might be the dude from IT Crowd who said Matthew Berry, I think it was, where he was like, nope, it's not me, it's you. He was breaking up with someone, the character.
And a couple other things. I've reminded on Reddit. Messi broke the record for most goals scored for a single club. He tops Pelé.
Who did?
Lionel Messi.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, over the weekend.
Well, what a time to leave. Go to PSG, huh?
Is this? I mean, obviously an incredible. Does it take anything away from what Pele did, right? Because everybody said that Pele he wasn't even playing against, he was playing like farmers. They always say the same thing about like the quality.
The game was different back then, but the goal size has been the same. Ball's gotten a little lighter. You know what I mean? I don't know. Goalkeepers have also gotten better. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's but also strikers have gotten better. It's hard for me to associate because like it's starting to happen now with Jordan, where people are like, oh, Jordan, he played in a different league. Like he couldn't do it. Like he did stuff like he fouled. If he played in LeBron's league, it would be tougher. And other people are like, no, if LeBron played in Jordan's league, he wouldn't be able to go to the rim as much and yada yada. So people are having these arguments all the time. For the eras they're in, I think what this means is that the only thing you have against Messi is his inability to win a World Cup. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he has everything else that makes him a legend. It's his inability to win a World Cup so far. He does have at least one more shot at it. I can't imagine he has two, but he definitely got one more shot.
Yeah. On board Martin, I just want to go back to Unai Emery. He said Emery's style suits that says sweets, but suits Spain better than England. I
don't know. I think he'd say it's pretty sweet.
And gymnastics said, just jumped on. Did I miss the Christian/Nutmeg lookalike makeover?
Yeah, thank you.
No, this is when you let the braids out. Okay, we got to bring that bounce. All right, bounce with me. All right. Pioneers.
I think this is. I was thinking about this with Messi. I would love to hear what you think. It turns out we have a show. A great time to ask. So Barcelona is a Nike manufactured jersey, right? Messi is an Adidas athlete, right? It's supposedly he's going to go to PSG. Now, I know there's rumors of this kind of stuff happening, but if you're Nike, that's the only way you could really still keep Messi in your sort of sphere, right? Because people got to buy your jersey to get Messi's name on it. They can't go buy an Adidas jersey with his name on it.
Yeah.
Right? So do you think Nike in some way is trying to keep tethered to Messi and maybe is pulling some strings to be like, yo, Messi, Jordan brand is starting to make a big push into the soccer world? Do you think maybe that's Nike saying like, hey, we got to keep Messi. It's the only way we have access to Messi.
Oh, okay. Look, yeah, I would not be surprised. Corporations always win, and they're trying to get their hands in, athletes that can bring them some money. No, I mean, look, I don't know where they will.
Because if you're Adidas, you probably want him in an Adidas jersey, right? Now, just thinking off the top of my
I would
head,
hope
some
so.
Adidas teams that could use them, Arsenal.
There
you go.
We're the Cooligans. I would like him as the third Cooligan. I'll be honest. I think he has a lot to offer. Okay, I think any business will. If we got Messi to hold up a Cooligan sticker, I mean, literally, our lives will change tomorrow.
Instantly,
even if it's him throwing it in the trash, like, what is this garbage?
He can't get it off his finger. And we're like, come on, just 2 more seconds. This is millions of dollars in sponsorship. Now we know what we got to do. Now, if we ever see Messi, we got to slap a sticker on his back without telling him,
I wanted to look up the standings in La Liga, and Barcelona are finally climbing up. They weren't doing very well. They're in fifth at the moment, but they were having a tough go those first couple games. Getting a lot. Look, 4 losses for Barcelona team already is pretty shocking.
They're in 5th place. You don't expect them to see them there.
Yeah. Okay. I think. Is there anything else that we may have missed out?
Yeah, chat. Let us know. Is there something we forgot to talk about?
Yeah. Borman just said 10 subs and you get the Messi cam. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's just him in Nutmeg's playpen. He's like, I want to get up. This is not right.
He can't reach over it, Yeah, all right. Messi's short jokes, all right?
Let's go.
He's had it coming for too long, all right?
Nick Lageman said, CCL, listen to our episode that came out today. We already talked about it, and we recorded a segment at the end.
Yes, so we recapped the game. So, yeah, the podcast is up right now. Definitely go check that out. Okay. I did see the Mesut Ozil did it.
S-Box said he could hold the furbo. He does got thumbs. He's just shaking it. He's like, I don't know, dude. The dog wants the treats.
What was I gonna say? Oh, do you see Mesut Ozil did a Q&A today on Twitter?
I did, and I saw Christine Cupo just put like, "Why are we so bad?"
Why didn't he answer that one?
I don't know.
He did answer as far as what's going on with Arsenal. He said somebody asked, "Are you happy in Arsenal?" He said, "It's a very difficult time for everyone around the club, not just for me. The situation is frustrating for everyone. Of course, I wish I could help the team, especially right now. But as long as I don't get the chance, I just hope we get better results very soon again."
He is a master politician.
He is, yeah. He's just saying all the right things.
He's handled this from a publicity standpoint, from what we see. Yeah. He's handled this beautifully.
Graciously. Okay. He's coming out clean out of Arsenal. It doesn't matter. Like, literally, it could be explosions and fire on him. He's just like literally no ash on him. He's like just doing it fine.
like the blonde girl from Game of Thrones when she walks out the fire, It's
Khaleesi, okay?
Okay, there you go.
RCAB said, did anyone ask if he'll join NYCFC? I'm fascinated. I mean, we talked on the podcast. We talked about Alex Ring and the whole thing, and what NYCFC is going to do as far as like who they have to sign somebody to really just appease a fan base that is like that kind of doesn't understand what led to the decision of getting rid of their captain. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Is Mesut Ozil the type of player NYCFC needs?
Find me a team where that answer is no in MLS.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, a creative midfielder, but not really the best on defense. And in MLS, I mean, we saw it with Pirlo. He was a very, a regista, does all the creative and everything, but too many times just did not play enough defense, and that led to a lot of losses. So that's why I asked that question.
I mean, the only thing I could say is he seems like someone who doesn't, he's not the most attentive when it comes to training. You know what I mean? Yeah. So of the teams where I think he would make a bigger difference, probably at like an LA Galaxy, depending on how they want to play. They seem like a much more simpler style of soccer. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, go speak on it, Alexis.
I'm trying to say, like, people that have, like, Caleb Porter would be somewhat frustrated.
Yeah,
he's like, you're not doing the things on the board, and I was like, fam, I'm wearing sunglasses.
We didn't get to
see the board.
We didn't get to talk about it on the podcast, but because that hasn't really been announced yet. But Greg Vanney looks like he's going to be the coach for LA Galaxy. So when that's announced, we'll get into more detail of like what LA Galaxy will probably look like in the future. But this is, this is the Prem show, all right.
Plus, I think if you're Mesut Ozil, you go home. I think you go to Turkey. It would be like a king coming home. Okay.
Not a bad suggestion. Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. I don't think there's... Robert Family said, did you talk about Juventus losing their first game? Italy title race looks to be exciting. Yeah, it was a red card from Cuadrado early in the game. And and they just they couldn't figure it out. They lost to Fiorentina, who we actually for whatever reason I kind of forget this sometimes, but we met a lot of the Fiorentina the coaching staff and the players.
Yeah.
Because when we hosted the House of Soccer for ICC in North Carolina, we got to meet all the.
It was Arsenal versus Fiorentina. Fiorentina owned by the same dude who owns the Cosmos, Rocco Camisa.
So this is an interesting thing, and this is a good I guess we didn't really expect this from our lives, like to be able to meet like actual like superstar footballers.
We always thought we would be like maced if we got near soccer players,
but. When I remember, so I don't watch much Serie A, right? And I don't know how many people watch, Fiorentina fans. I mean, everyone there was there pretty much to see Arsenal. But when we met the Fiorentina players, I was like, yo, like with all due respect, I know you're like a world class like footballer. You made it,
right?
I don't know who you are, fam. I don't know.
You beat the odds. You made it all the way to the top. And I confused you for someone who gets my luggage because they were just standing in front of me. I'm like, sir, excuse me. Oh, perdóname.
It was just such an awkward thing where I'm like, man, I know you're amazing. I wish I knew who you were and what you did. People are telling me, look, you're wearing the purple shirt. People are telling me you're somebody I should know, but I'm really sorry. I don't know who you are.
The problem also is not many of the Fiorentina players spoke English. So like they didn't really...
Yeah.
They didn't really ICC at the time wasn't picking a lot of those players to do like media stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas Arsenal, all of them do, by virtue of being in England.
Yeah.
But also the Fiorentina players, they look like they didn't bring whatever their bigger names either. But also like, this is the thing about Serie A, and you could look at the standings. It's like a 5-team league.
Yeah, this time around, it's weird to see Juve. I mean, they're sitting in 6th place.
That's one loss, and they're not even in Europa.
It's pretty wild.
The biggest surprise is Sassuolo. No,
Sassuolo, yeah. I mean, look, if a Sassuolo player came up to me, I would be like, "Excuse me, I need to get by." I really do not know much about what's going on over there.
If you punch a Latin kid in the mouth and they bite their tongue, and you say, "How's your tongue?" They say, "Sta
Yeah, nice Sassuolo burn, bruh. Okay.
Got him.
They didn't even see it coming.
Over the coals, my G.
Oh man, Robert from LA said Alexis is an international man of travel. Just do some hand movements and you can get their life story. Oh man, so look, we try our best to be as informed as possible, but you know, we're not those guys, all right? We're not doing all this research beforehand. And to our credit, they also like didn't tell us who was gonna be there, you know, so we couldn't really prepare. But
but to that point, like when you do these things, like people, and this is the problem. This is the double-edged sword of saying you're a comedian, right? When you're not a comedian and you're just a show host or something, a stage host or something host, they hand you all these documents with information on here's you know, dossiers of people. Here's things you should know, bullet points. Comedians are like, you guys go up there and be funny. And we're like, who are you? You know, what do you do? You know?
Yeah, you just improvise. Whether it's you know, a Fiorentina player, David Beckham, you just make the most of it while you're there. Okay, so everybody, thank you again, everybody on Twitch. Thanks so much for hanging out on El Twitch. Trademarked. Do we got to trademark that? We have.
Bruh, it is now.
Nobody try and trademark it.
Nick Lageman said, like, you would read the briefing, Alexis. Good point.
LCB said, how about the FIFA 2011 or 2020 best 11?
I did not see that.
I did see it. Let's we can go through it real quick, and that'll be the how we wrap up the show. Samantha, oops, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Oops. Is that what it is?
Hula hoops. I don't know.
Alphonso Davies is on it. Very nice. Virgil van Dijk, not bad. Messi, there you go. Joshua Kimmich, that's a surprise one, no?
Oh yeah. I mean, let me bring up I could bring up the list here.
It should just be, whatchamacallit? It should just be Bayern Munich with Messi in it, right?
Lewandowski, obviously. Lucy Bronze, women's player, which I think was. There were other. Who are the other finalists? I don't remember who it was, but I remember seeing, and I was a bit surprised it was Lucy Bronze. I mean, look, I'm not watching.
Wait, the one I pulled up doesn't have her in it.
I mean, you can see it on the screen on mine.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't read it. Well, yeah, just let us know who was the finalist, because I remember seeing it and I'm like, I felt like it should have been somebody from NWSL. I don't watch what you call it. Women's Super League like week in, week out, but I do watch NWSL a lot more. But so maybe I have that bias. What?
Shouts to Trent Alexander-Arnold for getting in there. You heard about the kid from FC Dallas who just got sold?
Did he get sold? No, I think it's just the teams want him. They're like kind of making offers.
But apparently there's a bit of a rush for him. People in England believe he's the next Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Okay.
That's
Reynolds,
huge,
right? Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds. Huge honor.
Okay. I just want to get the best.
Lewandowski got Player of the Year too. Didn't he get FIFA Player of the Year?
He did.
Yeah, which is kind of, it's a shame he didn't get the Ballon d'Or, because that's going to be a thing on his career. But
I'm using Bing. I can't find the best 11.
Well, clearly. It must not be important, because Bing is the greatest. We all know.
Oh, it's FIFA Pro best 11. Let me see.
It's the fifth Pro, FIFPRO.
Yes. Okay, let's see. I'm using Wikipedia. Will this be easy? No, this is not easy. Why isn't this easy?
Bing is trying to make you a better Binger, dude, which is making you go out and find more.
Okay, here it is. Now I have here we go. Found it. Yes. Alphonso Davies, De Bruyne, Thiago, Liverpool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kimmich, Messi, Lewandowski, Ronaldo.
Alison Becker.
Sergio Ramos. Virgil van Dijk. I see it. These are fine.
I can't argue with anyone on the list.
I mean, is it? I believe so. Alphonso Davies is the first CONCACAF player ever on it. Is that correct?
Maybe.
If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. All right. But I'm almost sure that is the case. That he's the first CONCACAF player in the World 11 in the best 11.
Mbappe, Sadio Mane, Messi, Conte, De Jong, De Bruyne, Robertson, De Ligt, Van Dijk, Alex Arnold, and Allison. I guess those are all the people that were up for it.
I don't know. Don't know what that is.
That's what SVOGs put.
Breck Shea snub again from Robert from LA.
You know what? They don't want us to win, dude.
Haters. Okay. FIFA Team of the Year from LCAB. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again. If you're listening to the podcast, obviously, join us on Twitch if you'd like to be a part of the show every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. eltwiche.com or just Soccer Cooligans on Twitch. So find us and come through. We're having a lot of fun here. Some people are asking if we're going to do any Boxing Day watch-alongs. Maybe we should do. We could flip through games. You know, there'll be a bunch of games going on. You know.
Oh, Nero Nation said maybe Rafa Marquez in 2006.
We're getting a lot of Merry Christmases as well. Merry Christmas to everybody. This is obviously.
Yeah, dude. Shouts to everyone. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Enjoy whatever the holiday looks like, whether it's with family, preferably probably without big groups indoors. You know what I mean? Stay safe.
That's how I'm going to do it.
Yep. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us again. Everybody on Twitch, we appreciate you. We love you. Always have a great time out here. The nutmeg emotes are coming through. And don't forget, feel free to subscribe for some, little out the door nutmeg cams if you want to see what he's up to. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening to the show. We appreciate you. With that said, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we? The Cooligans!